Welcome back to the Loveland Report and Loan Arranger Show. I am Cleve Loveland, Central Florida's best real estate planner, alongside Bruce Woodburn, the Loan Arranger. I want to talk about a new home community really quick. And this builder, Hardison Homes, great value for the money and lots of custom features in this. You walk into some builders and they do look like the house was slapped together in 60 days by one of those home improvement shows. This builder has lots of great features. This community's Delaney Reserve, right by Stetson, downtown DeLand. And they've got townhomes, Bruce, that start in the 290s.
Beautiful.
I mean, that's just, I was like, wait a minute. I'm like, because
brand new.
Other places there's a 3 in front of that. So they start in the 290s, go up to 320, great features, 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths on most of them. They're all 1,700 square feet, great little community right by Stetson, but new construction, nothing to worry about. You got great
first-time home buyer,
great builder, great home.
Of the HOAs in there,
and just a beautiful house. Hardison Homes. Call me or go to www.hardisonhomes.com. Be happy to tell you more about it or get you in touch with them.
Yep, great. You don't know what their HOAs are on in that.
Very low in this. I take care of the lawn for you. And there's a little community dog park with very low fees because
that area is growing and it's still a value. You can still get a good house, great house for very inexpensive.
I'm working with a builder. We're building some homes downtown there, buying some of the older like infill lots, building nice little custom homes there. Great area as compared to, in town, you can't find new construction.
No.
I mean,
Victoria Park, I think, is out in that area too, and they just exploded. That's a massive size community out there. But if you're looking to purchase a home or sell a home, call Cleve Loveland, the voice of real estate here in Orlando. He can be reached at 407-352-8118 or the Loan Arranger, Bruce Woodburn, CrossCountry Mortgage, helping clients throughout United States with their mortgage needs on purchase, refinance, build, renovate, home equity line, reverse mortgages, you name it. We got it. 407-250-9144 or WeBringYouHome.com.
What's the neatest product you've got? Oh, you tell me about these products. I'm like, no way, you just made that up.
It's interesting because we're working on a couple of new construction projects. I mentioned I closed the first 3D printed home on a construction-perm recently. We are looking at doing construction perms for manufactured homes. So we've already got them, but we're looking at doing something on USDA. Mm-hmm. So USDA will only do USDA on a manufactured home if it's a brand new home.
Yep.
So oftentimes, but you have to have that loan delivered to USDA within like 120 days or 90 days. Well, that's almost impossible to do on a regular transaction, but we have got a program figured out and we're working with some manufactured home manufacturers like Clayton, one of the biggest in the country. And we have devised a program where we're coming up with a way we can get you into that brand new home on a USDA 100%.
The owner of your company, Ron
Leonard. Yes.
Ron, okay. My business coach is in Tucson.
Yes.
Does a lot of business. Just wasn't using CrossCountry. Went to them. The owner of the company, Ron.
Yes.
Called him and thanked him. He's a major player. He's a top realtor in the Tucson market, and does a lot of business. And it just amazes me that somebody that is that smart and in tune with what the public needs. Whereas I hear a banker talk about what kind of mortgages they have and my eyes glaze over. This guy will never get it.
It's horrible.
This guy will never get it, and it just, and like the TV commercials I see run for those things on, like, oh my God, you guys are so full of it. I know you're lying, so it's just working with such a good company like CrossCountry. I tell everybody, I'm like, don't bother messing around with anything else. Just call Bruce because you've got the products.
We have the products. We're super fast. We've got great rates. We're a direct lender. We're in all 50 states. We have every loan program you could possibly think of. We have no overlays. So we don't, other than on construction-perm loans, of course, those are custom. That's why, but we don't have overlays. An overlay is an additional restriction that lenders or banks put on their mortgages to mitigate losses, to make it more difficult for you to qualify. Well, I don't have any of those. I don't layer on extra risk factors so that it makes it harder for you to qualify. But do you know that your bank does? your credit union does, most mortgage companies do. We don't, because we're such large volume. We don't do loans that don't make sense. We're not going to give somebody a loan that can't afford to make the payment or won't make the payment, or I'm going to get them into trouble. But we know how to do that. We know how to analyze it and know when we're looking at a client that, like, this loan would never be repaid, I'm going to get you into trouble. I would never do that to someone, even if the client wanted it.
Well, that's why, I mean, Bruce, I talk about real estate planning. I'd say almost half my appointments, I walk out of the house and like, we're not, that seller, that buyer's not ready yet, but I will be there when they need me. And whereas so many other people, I had one last week, the sellers told me, she goes, we appreciate the fact that you asked us what our timeline was. Everybody else was pulling out papers and trying to get us to sign right here.
Sure.
And literally with what they had going on in their family, it was not the right time.
Yeah. Well, we've got one right now.
but
Our
I gave-
friend Terry, he's like, he wants to do it, but
Yeah.
he's like, I'll do it when I'm ready to do it.
Yeah.
We don't want to, we're not here to push people. There's no heavy sales pitch. We don't even have a heavy sales pitch.
No.
We have information that's going to help guide you into getting what you want. But if you've got a client that says, I'm not ready for 6 months, now that doesn't mean that that's true. Because when I've got a client, here's something that I find common. You bring me a client, that client makes 2 or 3 offers on homes and gets outbeat. Okay. You and I have seen this happen time and time again.
Yep.
They get outbeat. They become discouraged.
Yep.
So what do? They say, Bruce, you know what? I talked to my wife. We're going to put this on hold for a couple of months. Okay. Guess what I get? A week from that day, on Friday at 7:30 at night, Bruce, we found this house. We got to update the pre-approval. I need it tomorrow. There's multiple offers and I have to have this house. Okay. That's it. And that's okay. But that's how that works. You tell me you're putting it on hold. That means you're going to find the perfect house. You know, it's funny because if I have a client that kind of went dormant and just didn't do anything, and I have to condition files. You can't just leave an open mortgage forever.
Yeah.
So by law, I have to be able to prove that there's activity moving on that file, or I have to cancel it.
Yep.
So as soon as I cancel it, guess what happens?
Their information gets sold to everybody out there.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, we don't sell any information.
Okay. All right.
As soon as I cancel it, the client calls me up and goes, oh, by the way, I'm going to look at a property tomorrow.
Well, knowing your timing, I mean, and having a real estate plan, this is what's important. And I have buyers, it's usually working with you. Let's get your credit score up. Let's do this. Your lease isn't up for 4 months. Check on the lease penalty. Is there one? Can we get that covered? With sellers, it's okay. I got my 50-point staging checklist. Do you want to work on that? I'll give you all that information. Or the builder down the street has 8 more lots to sell. They're selling 3 a month. So I'm going to check back with you monthly.
These are all important things.
And all these things you need to know. Are we renting the home? What's the best time? All right, let's not be trying to rent it in November, December. That's a tough time unless you have to. So things like that, we talk about time frames, and that's what's good about having a good real estate advisor, a good real estate planner.
Absolutely. So you and I have been seeing a lot more investors jump in the market. You've bought some properties recently.
Yep. Writing on my second one.
Yep. We see this happening more and more frequently. So a lot of the folks that are buying them are buying them as investors, and they are calling me about my DSCR loan. DSCR is an acronym for debt service coverage ratio. And what that means is the buyer, the investor that wants to buy as an investment property, does not need to provide me with a profit and loss or balance sheet or pay stubs or W-2s or tax returns. None of that. They provide their bank statements. They got to have decent credit. They put down, say, 20, 25, 30%, depending on how much they want to put down. Investors have to put a minimum of 20% down anyway. And then we get them a mortgage, and they don't have to supply all their tax returns. It's a very simple process. The only thing we're looking at is the rent that property produces. So if you want to become an investor, you're self-employed, you're not showing the income, talk to me about my self-employed bank statement program. Talk to me about a DSCR. Now, you can't do a DSCR on a primary residence. You can only do them on an investment property, but I can do a bank statement loan for self-employed people, primary, second home, or investment property. Then if you're 1099 people have always been treated just like self-employed.
Yep.
Right. I came up with the 1099 program. Listen to this. I'll give you 90% of your 1099 as income. Now, how many people do you think are claiming 90% of their 1099 as income? They're not.
Less than 2%.
They got a 1099 for $100,000. They wrote off $98,000. They made $2,000.
Yes.
That's what they're
And
showing.
they want to buy a house for $499.
They want to buy a house for $500,000.
Yep.
My name's Bruce Woodburn. I am the loan arranger. I will figure out how to get you into a house. We'll figure out how to save you money on your refinance. If you're considering refinancing to lower your rate, then I have a VIP watch list. I will physically call you when the time is right for you to refinance.
When do you think we'll see? Because like a refi wave would actually start, it will ripple into the market when people refi their house, drop the rate down to 5.75, and then they go out looking for a primary and rent the old one.
Yep.
Or they know they can
What a smart
buy.
thing to do. Drop your rate on your primary, keep the house, and go buy another one. That's the smartest thing you can do.
Just help somebody with that. We were about ready to rent their primary, one of our leapfroggers. I'm like, wait a minute, get rid of the PMI. It's been 2.5 years. Check on that. And they checked on, eliminate PMI, because once you're out and they know it's not, you can't do it. Ratios are different, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we got that done. And then I had another one just not reading their escrow account right and PMI, and they had not paid attention, and lender placed insurance, which like if your insurance is $2,500, the lender placed insurance is $6,600. And she was wondering why her payment went up $800 a month. I'm like, well, here, fix this. I mean, she thought she was not going to cash flow in her rental. By the time we finished, she was at $1,200 a month renting for $2,200.
I see so many mistakes that are made by lenders and real estate agents. I've got a client right now. They went to one of the big companies, and the big company pre-approved them. They sold their current home. They're under contract. They're under contract to close on another one at the end of the month. They get a call from their agent, and the agent says, I need you to look at this. The lender is now telling them they want them to put $30,000 more down to qualify. Mm-hmm. I'm like, well, why did they write a pre-approval letter for them?
Exactly.
Well, I looked at it and I went, oh, they don't need 30,000 more to qualify. They don't even need to put down as much as they've already got them putting down. I'll get them to qualify. They're not looking at the application correctly. Yeah. They're not analyzing income correctly.
Probably because it's a call center in Pakistan.
Well, your bank, I can guarantee you, your bank and your bank loan officers do not have a quarter of the skills that my loan officers have that are on my team. Not even a quarter.
It's a mechanic working on the car. You know, what kind of car am I working on? What year is it?
You don't want the Porsche mechanic working on the Ford and vice versa.
That'll be expensive. Yeah. So, or working on the Yugo, so what are we dealing with here? And the right product. So you've got all that. I just think right now we're coming out of summer. Schools have started. I hit some of that back to school traffic this morning. It is, well, not today, yesterday, but it is very important. I think if you want to make a real estate plan, this is the time to do it. I can help you whenever you're ready. 407-352-8118. Cleve, Loveland. If you need to buy, sell, or have your property managed, I can help you with that.
All of that. And if you're looking for a mortgage purchase, refinance, new construction, renovation loan, reverse mortgage, home equity line of credit, I could go on and on. The loan arranger right here in your backyard. Bruce Woodburn, CrossCountry Mortgage, 407-250-9144 or WeBringYouHome.com. God bless each and every one of you. Thank you for listening to the Loveland Report and the Loan Arranger Show. And don't forget to tune in, same place at 11 o'clock on Sunday morning. So we look forward to having you revisit then. And thanks for listening to our show. Have a great day.
Have a great weekend.